Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. This is Kringle Candles Bourbon, Apple, and Oud. And as always, when a candle has been sent to me in PR, I do always like to be upfront and disclose that for you. And so that is the case here. This is part of their fall 2024 collection. As a Kringle brand ambassador, they did send me that entire collection in PR about a month and a half ago for consideration. This video is not sponsored by Kringle, and as always, you guys know that my thoughts are my own. They actually encourage us to give very honest feedback, and that is what you will get here in this video. So this is their large 2-wick 100% soy wax formula. This does also come in a medium-sized 2-wick tumbler as well as a 3-wick 100% soy wax candle. They also have it in wax melts, and when the daylight machine gets up and running again, they will be offering this fragrance in daylights. The pour date of this specific candle is June 4th, 2024. So this is a fairly young candle. And the fragrance notes on it are top notes of apple, wood, apple and wood, not apple wood, like two separate, apple, comma, wood. Mid notes, bourbon, sweet. Base notes, tonka, and amber. All right, so I know that there's been a lot of intrigue around this candle. And to be honest with you, when I saw this candle being marketed or promoted to the ambassadors for promoting it prior to the launch, I was really curious about it as well because I am somebody who does typically, I like oud type of fragrances. I wouldn't say that I love them more than any other fragrance notes, but they do always kind of catch my attention. And I will tell you that in this fragrance, it's a very unique, more conceptual fall fragrance. It's kind of a twist on your typical apple fragrances that are very prominent, I would say, this time of year. I feel like apple is a fragrance that a lot of people gravitate towards like earlier in fall. I know that's typically my mindset with it. Um, but I'm going to tell you guys that the wood note in here, listed on the top note, is definitely present. It is definitely that oud fragrance, which I know some people may not really know, like what does oud wood smell like? So oud wood is typically described as kind of a rich, dark, and woody profile, but sometimes it has like also there's also a sweet and earthiness to it. It's slightly, I hesitate to say this because I know this might turn some people off. It's slightly leathery and animalic in its description. Like a lot of people will say that, and I would agree. It kind of reminds me of a fragrance that you would smell off of wood after a rainstorm or something. There's something that's in a weird way, kind of like, I don't want to say wet wood, but it's kind of yeah, it's just very, very earthy. It's hard to describe, but it is used in a lot of fragrance notes, particularly a lot of colognes. Um, there's just something very deep about it, and I personally enjoy it. I do really like it. And I definitely smell it in this candle. Now, it is balanced really nicely with the apple fragrance in here. This is not an apple fragrance that has any kind of like spice or gourmand to it. This is definitely kind of a, I would almost say maybe like a masculine take on an apple type of fragrance. Now, in terms of bourbon in here, I don't get a distinctly boozy note from here. Is the bourbon note in there? Yeah, it is. But again, I think it lends kind of that like masculine sweetness to this fragrance more than it is like an overtly boozy type of scent. A base note of tonka in here, I could see that in here. Yeah, but again, the note that really stands out to me more so on this fragrance is the oud. I think that this is a very conceptual fall fragrance, and I think that it's very, very well done. I haven't really had a fragrance like this in my collection before, and I'm very happy to have it. That being said, will it be a repurchase for me? I don't know. Maybe. I don't think that it's right up there with like I love leaf peeper and autumn amber from Kringle Candle as like early autumn type of fragrances. It's definitely one that, because it's a little bit more conceptual, I have a harder time blending it with other candles that are currently in my collection. Ones that it does work well with are like the regular, like I would say like just like a plain apple scent. So if you have like the Reserve Red Delicious, I think that it pairs really nicely with that. Currently in my collection, I have Homeworks' Deliciously Apple that pairs nicely with it as well. I could actually, in a weird way, possibly see this pairing nicely with the new Warm and Toasty. Maybe if you want to kind of warm up the vibe in your home. But that, all that to be said, you guys, I think that this is a very conceptual fragrance, and I like it. But I'm not sure that I love it enough that I feel like it's one that I have to have year in and year out in my collection. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. So again, what we come to know and expect from a lot of the Kringle 100% soy wax formula. Very, very clean burn. I'm not having any issues at all with the wicks. I had mentioned in my Kittens and Cashmere one that I had a little just kind of an odd thing go on with the wax pool, was kind of not very deep on that one, and I had to kind of pour out some wax and let the flames kind of, or not the flames, the wicks adjust to a healthier flame. But I'm not having that issue at all on this candle. If I go overhead here, you can see how the wicks are performing. I might slightly trim off the carbon residue at the end, but that being said, you guys, I'm not getting a lot of carbon residue on these wicks. Good, solid, beautiful, clean wax pool there. All right, strength and throw on this candle. It's decent, you guys. I'm going to give this one about a 7 in terms of strength and throw. For those of you who might be new to my channel, a 7 doesn't always equate to 70%. To me, a 7 is usually, my preference for a lot of my candles is usually anywhere between like a 7 and an 8. And I always say that because I actually have a lot of family members and friends that are very sensitive to fragrance. And so for me, I don't always want fragrances that are going to smack me in the face or become too much, or that they could be like headache inducing. So if I give a candle a 10, as weird as this may sound, when I give a candle a 10, it means that the fragrance is almost so strong that I can burn it for very, very short periods of time without it causing a headache. And that's why a 10 doesn't always mean perfect, which maybe I should reassess that score. I don't know. But this to me is probably like a medium high in terms of strength and throw. When I burn it out here in the open concept living room area, it does fill up the living room. It doesn't really throw all the way into the kitchen, but when I place it into a bedroom, it's very, very strong in a bedroom. The bedrooms in my home obviously have shorter ceiling heights, and are obviously by nature smaller bedrooms that are smaller room space to fill up than, say, the open concept living room and kitchen. But it performs very nicely for me. I do think that you might get an increased throw on this candle if you have more of an a larger home than I do, or more of an open concept. You might want to purchase this one in the 3-wick. But it's definitely a great fragrance, and the performance on it I have been very satisfied with. So I will say 2 thumbs up for this candle. Kudos to Kringle for doing something a little bit different. I do think that they are very good about coming up with a little bit more conceptual fragrances. I know everybody's excited about the Halloween launches that they do, which those are also very conceptual. And I think that's where they set themselves apart, particularly for the Halloween holiday. But this one for the fall fragrances, I do think that this is one of the standout fragrances that they have released this year. It's a little bit outside of the box, and I do give them kudos for doing that. So I do have a discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase with Kringle Candle. That is an affiliate code, so please only use that if you are comfortable, because it is eligible for a commission. These candles have not yet really been included in any of the kind of like more frequent sales that Kringle offers on their website. Although I would anticipate, probably I would say within the next month, month and a half, I could see all of these fall candles starting to be included in those sales, because we all know after Halloween, I was looking at my calendar from last year, just going through some of my videos, and I did post a Christmas video, like Christmas haul candle haul, late September of last year. So I would not be surprised if we start to see some sneak peeks or holiday releases coming down the pipeline pretty much in the blink of an eye. So I feel like once they release a new collection, they tend to put the I don't want to say the old collection because it's really not old, but the that's when you'll start to see some of the other new launches start to hit the sale rack. So anyways, you guys, please feel free to comment down below what your experience has been with this candle if you have already purchased it. I always ask that you guys remain respectful of myself and others in your comments, which honestly, you guys, I've never had problems from any of you guys. You've all been great. So, but I do always like to put that in my videos. Please hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful or if you enjoyed it. I did also want to let you guys know that we did receive an update on the Halloween Part 2 launch that is happening this Friday. Those candles were originally going to be released at midnight on Friday, April 16th. They have pushed back the time to 12 p.m. So that is noon Eastern Standard Time this Friday, August 16th. So if you are wanting to purchase from that collection, we all know I am planning to purchase that cute cat on the pumpkin candle. I have a feeling that one's going to be the first one to sell out, but adjust your time accordingly, you guys, if you are planning to purchase anything from that collection. All right, you guys, I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. Until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.